All right. Good morning and welcome to 5 Minutes or More with Pastor. It is Monday, June 22nd. It is very clear and very sunny outside. Looks like today and tomorrow are going to be very warm days. And so sunny days. Looks like summer is certainly finally here. I don't know where it's like where you are, but we get quite a bit of rain here and it even goes into some of these summer months. But boy, has it come in like a bear, like a bull here. Um, you know, just coming in full bore. Good morning, Anita. Good to see you. And I know many others are probably tuning in here a little bit later. I'm excited for this week. This is the week of our uh, now annual church camp out, and the weather looks awesome. The fellowship is always great and encouraging, and look forward to that. But lots of things to get ready for between now and then. So I'll put it out email out for it later, but we'll be taking prayer requests and praises earlier and all those kinds of things. We're going to be recording our Sunday evening service tomorrow, Tuesday. We usually don't do it until Friday or Saturday, but usually Saturdays, usually. But we'll be doing that tomorrow on Tuesday because we'll be gone Wednesday through Saturday, but looking forward to that. A lot of things we need to get done around here before we head out to the woods. But looking forward to that. Always am. Psalm 55 is where we are this morning. I want to read verses 12 through 13. They say this: For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man equal, my guide and mine acquaintance. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I believe this is referring to David and Ahithophel. Ahithophel was one of David's close counselors. But when Absalom, David's son, decided that he wanted to try to abdicate the throne from his dad, Ahithophel joined Absalom against David. And really, it broke David's heart. Somebody that was his close friend, confidant, and helper turned his back on him. And, it's one of those things. Sometimes we understand pushback and resistance, and we even understand the idea of somebody troubling us. That's our enemy. But when it's somebody that's close to us, man, that's something that's so difficult for us to understand and process. And um, the reality is, the only lasting solution in the face of our problems, though, is in the strength of the Lord. Because oftentimes we're tempted to run away from our problems, and really running away from our problems don't make things any better or any easier. Um, they just actually just push the problem and the issue further out and further away. And so one of the things we need to do is we need to face our problems in the strength of the Lord. I was just reading this example not too long ago. I thought it was an interesting one, and that was that the sisal twine. I'm not really familiar with the sisal twine, but you can look it up yourself. In the sisal twine in Mexico is a twine that's very strong and used for a lot of different things, and it's planted in the very rocky, dry areas of the Yucatan in Mexico. And it really struggled to grow. They couldn't get a lot of growth out of it. And so there were some American scientists that came over and thought, we have a great idea. Let's take it from this difficult, hard, rocky soil, and let's move it to a manicured place where we can, we have great, healthy watered, soft soil for it, and we'll grow a whole bunch of it. And they thought this could be a great moneymaker. And certainly that's exactly what they did. They took it there. Its growth just exploded. I mean, there were sprouts of it coming up everywhere. And they thought, here we go. And, this is going to be great. We don't have to keep just getting little bits and pieces from Mexico. We have it all right here, and a whole bunch of it. But when they began to harvest it, and then to began to turn it into the twine that they were going to use, it literally it broke apart into mush. And they realized something really fast, that the reason that sisal twine was so strong was because of what it was planted in Mexico. The tough fibers were missing when it was moved away from those conditions. The wind, the heat, the barren soil had made that sisal twine strong and hardy amongst all of that adversity. And it's important for us to understand that God, in his wisdom and in his mercy, he knows exactly what is necessary for me and for you to help us to grow spiritually in our character, so that we can become strong and we can become resilient. And sometimes it's those hard parts of life, those times we don't like, or when we have to hear things we don't like, when we have to deal with things we don't like. Nobody enjoys those. Those aren't fun. But sometimes that is what God uses to grow us. And so we want to rejoice and we want to praise the Lord when things are excellent. We see his blessings and we see his hand of goodness upon us. But also we need to rejoice always, even in those difficulties, knowing that God is using those things to strengthen us, to make us more resilient for his honor and glory. And I pray that we'll do that. Because life is full of ups and it's full of downs. But just like that sisal twine, we're in sometimes those rocky conditions because God knows exactly what we need to grow our character, to be strong and resilient for his honor and glory. And I pray that we'll do that. Listen, if there's a psalm so far that, man, I just felt David's heart, it was this one. When when he says, for it was not an enemy that reproached me. Because if it was, I could have borne that. I could have dealt with that. It wasn't a person that hated me that magnified himself against me. I would have been able to hide myself from him, but it was somebody that I know, someone that I love, and that was hurtful. But God was going to use it to strengthen him. And he'll use those difficult moments, if we let him, to strengthen us as well. And I hope you will. Hope you guys have a great morning. I hope your morning starts off a little bit better than mine did. I was ready to do this almost half an hour ago. And I was having all sorts of technical difficulties with my camera and the phone. And then Katie, I see your message about the audio. I was almost ready to stop it and just scratch it for the day, because I thought, my goodness, these technical difficulties are not wanting to cooperate at all. But it's going, and we're good now. By the way, if you were not, and I was supposed to say this, if you were not at our Sunday morning service, we did have some troubles with live